Have you ever stopped to consider that at this very moment, you are sculpting your future through something seemingly simple, yet extraordinarily powerful, your inner words? Modern science reveals that our internal dialogue is not just a casual, mental habit but a force capable of reshaping our biology, reprogramming our brain, and altering our quantum reality. Let me share a revealing experience. Once I worked with a patient who arrived at my office deeply convinced of their inability to recover. Their internal dialogue was an incessant stream of limitations. The fascinating part was observing how, by restructuring their self-communication, their biology visibly responded. We documented tangible cellular changes triggered solely by the transformation of their inner dialogue. What I'm about to share transcends simple motivational theory. It is a scientifically validated methodology, grounded in thousands of success stories from people who have revolutionized their lives by mastering a fundamental skill: communicating internally with mastery and authority, understanding quantum laws, and the ability to manifest realities through focused consciousness. Your brain processes your inner words as concrete reality. This is a scientifically proven fact. When you internally say, "This is impossible," or "I can't," your body releases the same chemical compounds it would in response to a real threat. Your cells cannot distinguish between lived and imagined experiences. Consider this. Every negative self-communication literally programs your brain for failure. Your body produces stress hormones, your heart rate increases, your immune system weakens, all in response to your inner words. This isn't philosophy, it's pure biology. The neuroscience of internal dialogue. Neuroscience demonstrates that your thoughts create specific neural networks. Each repetition strengthens these connections, like trails in a field. The more they are traveled, the more defined they become. By maintaining limiting thought patterns, you are literally carving these limitations into your brain's physical structure. Advanced brain imaging studies reveal that positive internal dialogue activates higher brain regions, particularly the prefrontal cortex, responsible for strategic planning and complex behaviors. You are literally engaging your brain's executive center. At the cellular level, something extraordinary happens when you establish elevated internal dialogue. Your cellular receptors respond to neurotransmitters generated by your thoughts. With consistent practice, these receptors multiply, making your cells more receptive to the chemistry of empowerment. The mind-body connection and genetic expression. The mind-body connection through words is so profound it can alter genetic expression. By communicating internally with authority and conviction, you activate immediate response genes that regulate the expression of other genes. You are literally reprogramming your DNA through your inner dialogue. Quantum physics reveals something extraordinary. In the quantum field, all possibilities exist simultaneously. Your consciousness, attention, and internal dialogue are the factors that transform these infinite possibilities into tangible reality. When you remain stuck in automatic patterns of negative internal communication, you are literally blocking access to this infinite field of possibilities. Scientific measurements show that limiting thoughts generate chaotic, disorganized energy patterns in our bioenergetic field, while elevated thoughts create harmonic, coherent patterns. This isn't mysticism. It's measurable energy physics. Transformation through conscious internal dialogue. The exciting news is that you can deliberately change your energetic frequency through conscious internal dialogue. By communicating internally with authority, you're not just modifying thoughts, you're literally altering your electromagnetic signature in the quantum field. Reflect on this. Every significant innovation in human history began with a thought that transcended the prevailing reality. Santos Dumont had to think beyond gravity. Marie Curie beyond the limits of known physics. You must think beyond your current circumstances to create something new. Neuroplasticity and the power of repetition. Your brain is reshaping itself at this very moment as it processes these words. This is neuroplasticity. The brain's ability to constantly remodel itself based on thoughts and experiences. Each internal dialogue reinforces existing neural circuits or creates new ones. When you establish new patterns of internal communication, Your brain forms new synaptic connections. It's like transforming narrow trails into high-speed mental highways. The more you practice elevated internal dialogue, the stronger these connections become. Cultivating your mental garden, imagine your brain as an extraordinary garden. Each thought is a
seed. But here's the secret. It's not enough to plant a single seed of positive internal dialogue and expect an abundant harvest. You must consistently cultivate this neural garden. Science indicates it takes approximately 66 days to establish a new neural habit. During this period, every time you choose elevated internal dialogue over limiting patterns, you are literally dissolving old connections and building new ones, upgrading your mental operating system. The impact of elevated emotions, when you consistently generate emotions like certainty, confidence, and unshakable conviction through your internal dialogue, you create what scientists call coherence, a state where your heart, brain, and nervous system operate in perfect synchrony. Most people allow their environment to determine their emotional state. A negative comment triggers insecurity. A challenge creates frustration. But when you master internal dialogue, you learn to maintain elevated states regardless of external circumstances. Practical implementation in daily life. Morning power routine, 15 minutes. Before checking electronic devices, connect with your breath. Place your hand over your heart. Establish directed internal dialogue about who you choose to be today. Declare, every cell in my being awakens to its maximum potential. 2. Mental preparation for challenges. Before significant situations, use structured internal dialogue. Affirm, I am fully prepared and internally resourceful. Prime your nervous system for excellence before each challenge. Nightly review. Reflect on moments of empowered internal dialogue. Identify areas for refinement. Plan specific improvements for the next day. The biology of transformation. Your body is a universe of approximately 50 trillion cells, all attuned to your internal dialogue. When you communicate internally with power and authority, you release specific neuropeptides that flow through your bloodstream, binding to cellular receptors and altering genetic expression. Epigenetics reveals that your genes are not your destiny. Elevated emotional states, sustained through conscious internal dialogue, can activate beneficial genes and deactivate harmful ones. You are literally reprogramming your biology at the molecular level. Coherence of mind and body. When your internal dialogue aligns with your highest intentions, your heart's electromagnetic field becomes more organized and coherent. This state strengthens the immune system, reduces stress hormones, optimizes brain function, activates what scientists call a positive upward spiral. The time is now. Transformation doesn't wait for ideal circumstances. It happens in the present moment, with each conscious thought and each purposefully chosen internal word. You are not trying to convince yourself of anything. You are speaking from the absolute knowledge of who you are becoming. On the quantum level, you are not working towards something. You are manifesting the end result in the present through aligned internal dialogue. Every word carries the frequency of your new identity, an invitation to transformation, everything. We've learned about mastering internal dialogue is not mere information. It's an invitation to step into a new level of existence. Your cells are listening, your genes are ready for new expression, and the quantum field responds to your expanded consciousness. The power to transform your life exists in the space between your thoughts, in the moments when you choose to communicate internally with the authority of someone who knows their own power. The time is now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready, not when circumstances are perfect. Take control of your internal dialogue, and you take control of your reality. As modern science proves, your inner words are not just thoughts. They are the force shaping your biology, your energetic field, and the future you choose to create. If this content resonated with you, share it with someone who needs this message. Together, we can elevate collective consciousness and manifest extraordinary realities. Until our next meeting, keep your internal dialogue aligned with your limitless potential.